And we are live. Man, this Set and Keep from Set and Keep Media, man. We back with another one. Let's get right into it. We about to get into some law and crime shit, my man.
Crime.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. We need the cops here as soon as possible.
It's the 911 call heard around the world, casting the spotlight on a popular YouTuber.
If you're in a position of power and you turn your power and give it over to the kids, that is control.
And her partner in crime.
Hi, I'm Jodi Hildebrandt. I am at the second annual Women's Retreat.
I'm as shocked as anybody.
Lord.
Her and Ruby were just the two wrong things to come together.
In a story that has layers.
She can stay right here on the porch so you can see her.
What are you afraid of, sir?
Upon layers.
Jodi is very smart in how she approaches her therapeutic modalities. It's like a frog being boiled in water. You know, you start off with the cold water and slowly turn up the temperature.
Not a good reference. Let's get into it.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Jesse Weber, and welcome to Prime Crime. This is where we break down the most compelling true crime cases in America. Our next story takes us all the way out west, but this is a case that had the entire nation buzzing when it broke in late summer 2023. And it all began with one chilling 911 phone call.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help.
August 30th, 2023, Ivins, Utah. What you're hearing is not your typical 911 phone call, but this isn't your typical case, and it all begins with one woman.
Worshipping your child will be placing your child's desires over responsibility.
This,
and Lord knows that could never go right.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Is Ruby Frankie.
That's actually a recipe to be a bad parent.
Kind of a crazy mom in that I love my kids to wear red, white, and blue. They have been wearing red, white, and blue every year since they were wearing clothes.
Ruby Frankie was a YouTuber and had millions of followers for her 8 Passengers channel. That's where Ruby's claim to fame really came from.
I think the kids are more excited about the presents the siblings are getting than the ones they're getting.
8 Passengers was started several years ago by both Ruby Frankie and her husband.
It's the name of their YouTube channel.
You guys, we are in Florida.
And the kids had no idea.
They have 6 children together, and it was kind of that initial mommy blog YouTube channel where Ruby would basically invite people into her life with her husband and her children.
You guys are gonna watch each other. I made dinner, but you have to eat dinner. Hello. Got it? Okay. No.
Silly business.
I was gonna say hanky panky, but that's not right, I'm pretty sure. No silly business. That's better.
Adorable concept. You got your quirky mom and
many kids. It's
John
cute.
and John and Kate plus 8 vibe, you know.
Oh God, and it's nice to look at, but the dark underlinings though.
And they're promoting, you know, that nuclear family Christian vibe aspect to it as well,
which we all love. Like, hey man, we love it.
She focused her family as the main driving source of content for her platform.
What is this?
It's a real cake. It's a cake, and the side is the color of the baby.
So we're gonna find out if it's pink or if it's blue.
A lot of the kids you almost saw grow up in that YouTube channel.
Damn.
Do you want to start dating?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've ever asked you that. I just assumed.
That's weird.
That you didn't.
I wouldn't care if I started dating, but I'm 13 and I feel like I'm too young.
You know that you can always come talk to me, right? You ever
got the same little boy from the first one?
Yeah, I think so. No teeth to
good talk.
13.
8 Passengers was the wild ride of the Frankie family, with over 2 million subscribers over the years.
Damn.
Most likely by parents who were looking at this, looking at the tactics.
And that is the 1% of YouTube.
Bro, it's crazy that documenting your entire kid's lives got you this much.
Yeah, but we've always seen kids, parents being able to profit off their kids' image and, you know, child actors, things like that.
Yeah, it's a little strange to me, though. I never liked it.
Used, looking to them for advice, as so many do on social media.
Why you yelled at me?
Shh. The fact that I yell at my kids is a secret. We don't want our viewers to know.
However, these videos started to take a dark turn.
Eve did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch. I responded and just said, Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning. So the
Whoa. So your daughter's responsible for making her own lunches? Is like, whoa.
Like, come on.
How'd that work?
natural outcome is she's just going to
I'd have starved as a kid if that was the case.
People were upset about whatever was happening on this channel, parenting tactics or how the children were being treated.
You have to vote. Listen, if you do not vote for what fun you want, we will ensure you will have no fun at all.
There were people who were concerned about the things that she was doing to punish her children.
That's part of the problem with documenting your whole fucking parental philosophy on the internet. You got a YouTube channel dedicated to how you parent and you being around your kids, how you talk to your kids. You pretty much got to stay in line with what the internet thinks or what your viewers think, what your commenters think. The second you go away from what they want to see or what they deem to be appropriate, yeah, you're going to have some issues. There's going to be some backlash.
Yeah, ain't that true? And the thing is, it stopped being about wholesome parenting and started becoming about entertainment.
Made him do push-ups.
Put them in your pocket so you can take them down to the hamper and drop and give me 10.
See?
1. Put your hands straight out. They're in. They're not supposed to be out.
See?
Shape your hands.
It stopped being about parenting and started being about entertainment.
Forward. There you go.
There was another situation where her oldest son ended up losing his bed for several months.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months, and then you give it back like a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that. You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I've been sleeping on a beanbag since October.
Laughing about it.
I'm torturing my kids and I'm documenting on YouTube.
To my 2 million plus subscribers.
Wild as fuck.
And you made a good point. I did think she probably started getting a little bit drunk or high off of the viewership, the cloud, and
the money.
Yeah, started making them do outlandish things for the views.
And let's be real, the crazier thing she did, she probably see the up and views.
Russell was like, I want to try dunking the basketball.
Yeah, people are talking shit, calling her crazy.
And he was and left me there. We shot 30 minutes, and he was just hanging on there.
Do you think it's funny? Because
and then I walk out.
If you think it's funny, then that was 7 months ago. Maybe you need longer without a bedroom.
It was not funny.
There were a lot of people who were really put off by that. And that led to them criticizing her online.
When looking at the change.org platform,
what are the comments
there are a couple of
petitions. And that led to them.
Okay.
Hope you go to hell. Skull emoji. Damn. I hope you go to hell.
I'm weak.
Criticizing her online.
When looking at the change.org platform,
waking her kids up with a bullhorn,
there are a couple of petitions pertaining to Ruby Frankie and 8 passengers.
I'm saying, waking your kids up with a bullhorn, straight for content.
There's one from 2020 that actually says, get 8 passengers, Ruby Frankie, under investigation for child abuse. There's also another one that still has almost 18,000 signatures. There were obvious concerns.
Eve, this is my tape. What are you doing? What are you doing to this poor baby? Should I tape your eyes to make you sleep?
The biggest thing was seeing all the kids get hurt on the YouTube channels. When I saw split fingers and bloody noses, the things that I saw were off camera. And they were all the stuff at parties. They were just patterns of behavior, saying things like, oh, if my kids won't go to bed, I just give them Tylenol PMs. One conversation with Ruby was over dinner, and me and her argued the whole time about parenting for like a half an hour. For me, there was red flags throughout all of that.
We do know over the years there were a number of calls to Ruby's home in Springville for a variety of things. Some were welfare checks, just checking on their family because the kids were left alone, according to one of the narratives.
Hi, my name is Sherry Frankie. My 4 younger siblings are living in Springville, and my neighbors have been telling me that they have been left home alone for about 4 or 5 days.
The CPS visits didn't amount to much. A lot of those are private record. We're not able to get those records. What we did see is Springville police assisting. There's no details of how they proceeded, but clearly, they didn't proceed in a certain direction.
In 2022, Ruby Frankie stops posting on the...
Now, this is where you might be able to claim white Christian privilege, because police are involved about child endangerment or child abuse in a black home. You might see CPS take it a little bit more seriously and intervene a little bit more harshly. Yeah.
So, let's get into it.
8 Passengers channel. There's a new person in Frankie's life, and they're taking up a lot of her time.
Hi, I'm Jodi Hildebrandt. I am at the 2nd annual Women's Retreat in St. George, Utah.
Jodi Hildebrandt was a licensed clinical mental health counselor.
Got a few of y'all in here. Make sure to like and comment.
Ruby was working for Jodi,
man. Make sure to subscribe as well.
Hi, we are live in Mapleton, Utah, and we have Ruby here. And Ruby is a part of the original 10 women that are being trained to become mental fitness trainers.
Connections is essentially a life coaching.
So the woman that basically, I guess, torture her kids is doing mental fitness, is an ambassador with them, these women, or like what is she doing? Is she working?
Group
mental
or
fitness sounds like brainwashing
from Jodi Hildebrandt. She was the founder of Connections
child abuse?
Classroom. But she had 2 other people that worked for her in Connections.
That's scary.
One woman is named Pam Botcher, the president of the Connections Foundation, which was actually listed as a nonprofit. The other was Ruby Frankie, who was listed as a certified mental fitness trainer.
A man or a woman can be being abusive and they still will have their children given to them, which is horrible. This little boy that you have depends on you, Mom. And I'm hoping that you will be a lioness to protect him.
Connections offered one-on-one coaching sessions with Jodi, or couples classes, or specific classes for women and specific classes for men as it pertained to perhaps strengthening your relationship or getting the most out of your life.
Of course.
There are all these different behaviors that kids and adults go into to distract themselves from the fear that they don't matter.
But Jodi Hildebrandt isn't without her own controversies.
Oh, what?
She was actually put on probation back in January of 2012 for some of the things that she did ethically as it pertained to an individual that she was counseling. His name was Adam Steed. Adam actually saw Jodi back in 2008, and it came out that Jodi shared a lot of his personal client privilege information with members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and also members of a local institution, Brigham Young University, where Adam was working at the time.
I was just so messed up emotionally and mentally after Jodi Hildebrandt that I was scared of my own name.
Oh, shit.
You know, when you're a victim of child abuse and your therapist, Jodi Hildebrandt, tells you the PTSD and the trauma from that is just your sexual addiction.
What?
And then she throws...
Nigga, what?
Whoa.
Yo.
It's just your sexual addiction.
They just flip it on sexual addiction that easy, that smooth. Yeah, this is why I don't trust modern day therapy. I swear to God.
You into a class, and then the other 3 guys start talking about being a voyeurist with victims, being an exhibitionist with victims, being an incest person with victims. It was extremely uncomfortable.
We have spent 24 hours between the 2 days talking about how to recognize distortion and move it into truth. We have cried and we have laughed and we have applauded and we have invited people into boundaries. They're very interested in coming back, bringing their spouses.
She wouldn't let me leave therapy. She contacted other therapists and told them terrible things about me so that I couldn't get help elsewhere. She was just
We must sucking them for money and the insurance money, pretty much.
That's key.
Just
extorting that nigga.
God damn. Look, he looks fucked up still.
And trying to
do
control
nothing
my
for
life. When I started to ask certain questions, she just changed everything and went on a complete assassination.
Connections is unique. It's an anomaly in the world. People don't understand that they can actually heal their pain. And if you have not joined the Connections family, I would encourage you strongly.
She brought everybody in. And now she was saying I was mentally unhealthy and I couldn't choose for myself. I lost my children, a huge amount of their lives because of this.
Adam Steed is not the only person who comes forward about Jodi Hildebrandt.
She strips you of identity, she strips you of credibility, she isolates. And so she's saying everything that you say is a lie. Everything that you say is manipulation. You're lying and destroying everyone's life. So for the sake of everyone else's safety, we're duct taping you.
This is Jessie Hildebrandt, Jodi's niece, who alleges physical, emotional, and mental abuse they suffered under the care of their aunt when they were younger.
I was sleeping outside in the snow in the middle of winter in Utah. I wasn't allowed to have a bed.
Bro, had her ass outside in the snow.
Yeah, it sounded like kind of what old girl was doing to her kids, like dirty ass, weird tactics. Like,
what did she do?
Borderline abuse. Now that is abuse. I ain't gonna lie.
There's no reason to do that to, but like
to a kid.
God damn, what is she?
What lesson do they need to learn?
That it was like a mummy bag,
like man,
sub-zero,
-3 degrees.
It was absolutely
never taught nobody.
Her justification to the police was that she was preparing me for outdoor wilderness therapy.
We talked about sexuality, relationships in truth rather than distortion. And so these women gave some amazing points of the sacredness of sexuality and the utmost.
If you're just now tuning in, we discussing the story of Ruby Frank, man. Make sure to like and comment, man. This shit needs pushed in the algorithm. Crazy ass story, man. S.E.T Media. Who you else know bringing you content like this?
Most importance in order to be able to be in a centered, connected relationship.
Jodi kind of prescribes herself as being this person who's very much into honesty, and her whole brand is kind of owning up to who you are and what you've done. She tends to be, I think, a bit more strict than what most counselors would be. And really, probably at the end of the day, her and Ruby were just the two wrong things to come together.
So you telling me the woman who leave children outside in the cold teamed up with the woman who has their kids like missing beds and shit and doing push-ups basically for the gram? It's wild.
Can only imagine how left that shit
went.
When
we return, Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt are thrust into the national spotlight.
Uh-oh.
12-year-old male showed up with tape around his legs Thursday asking for help, said he was afraid asking for police. The male does have duct tape around each ankle. He's not telling the RP why, and said that there's sores around his wrists and ankles. The RP is becoming emotional regarding the child's health.
Straight up abuse, man. Imagine the emotional toll that takes on these
so
kids.
We're going to get back to the Ruby Franke
Even though they're out the
Prime
situation now, you got to imagine that they're going to grow up and have some
a lot of law
lasting trauma from this shit.
All right. We gotta get past that. But goddamn though, man, let us know what y'all think so far, because this is a wild story of child abuse, and I just hate to hear that type of shit. I ain't gonna lie.
From a YouTuber. From a YouTuber. A lot of y'all may have been familiar with their channel. Let us know if you used to watch their content.
Man.
We're in Utah, where mom of 6, Ruby Franke, who spent years documenting the lives of her children and husband Kevin on the once popular YouTube channel 8 Passengers, has stopped posting videos on the page. This after receiving backlash over her disciplinary parenting style.
But we'll see.
Who hate me, who would like to cancel me, who would like to see me either burn in hell, as I have told, or disappear off the face.
Burn in hell, no. Mental asylum, yes.
Rehab, for sure.
I'm not going anywhere.
Franke partners up with Jodi Hildebrandt, a mental health counselor who runs a life coaching business known as Connections.
Hit her up like, you got sauce, baby. I see you. You got sauce.
Trainer is.
Yes. So we are getting mentally fit. We are getting ready to be your mental fitness trainer. We're getting truth, really easy to teach and help you, and you're going to feel so much better.
Absolutely.
But Hildebrandt herself has come under fire for her alleged manipulative and physical abuse techniques.
She didn't want me to leave her therapy group. I couldn't go to any other therapist. I was trying to go to other therapists because they were saying I was an addict in denial, and it was just crazy. When I tried to get away, she changed everything and went after me in the most bizarre way I've ever seen, and then ruined my whole life.
Jodi is very smart in how she approaches her therapeutic modalities because they are so extreme. If she were just to start out with those things, everyone would recognize it and they would be shocked and it'd be like, absolutely not. Okay. She's very subtle and she's very calculated.
Like the frog in a pot.
It's like a frog being boiled in water. You start off with the cold water and slowly turn up the temperature.
The only way you can actually have a fulfilling, and I don't mean physiologically fulfilling.
It's manipulation 101. Start off slow.
So she'll make you sleep in the bed. So make you sleep without a bed first.
Then you go sleep in the cold outside.
Nah, fuck that. Nah, you in the basement and then the cold outside. Like, she escalates it. And what's after the cold outside? That's like the worst you could do is sleep outside in the cold.
And I'm talking about a spiritual, fulfilling sexual relationship.
Hopefully,
it starts
you just
with
broken
self,
after that, and you
then it moves into your partner.
Essentially.
But this partnership between Frankie and Hildebrandt has devastating consequences.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help.
The Santa Clara Ivins Public Safety area basically got a phone call, and officers were alerted of a situation at a home in Ivins, Utah, the home of Jodi Hildebrandt. That is where two of Ruby Frankie's younger children were at the time 9 and 12. One of them was able to leave and run to a neighbor's house.
Hey, what's up, good time?
There's been problems at this neighbor's house.
What's going on, good time?
He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty. And he asked us to call the police. So he's very afraid.
By listening to that 911 call, which still haunts me to this day as a father of a 2-year-old myself, the neighbor, an older gentleman, extremely compassionate in this situation and can't believe what has just stumbled upon his doorstep.
This kid has obviously I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Whoa. Mind you, he's talking about her young son, talking about he's been detained. Nigga had fucking restraints on his hands and wrists when he came over to the neighbor's crib.
I have crippling depression. After that, for sure, but god damn.
That shit is sick.
We need the cops here as soon as possible.
The 911 call is heartbreaking. The 12-year-old son ends up getting out of a window in their basement and make his way to the neighbor's house. He's asking for a drink and food.
Damn.
The neighbor, he sees ligature marks. He sees what he describes as emaciated and malnourished.
Damn.
Based on what was found on his wrists and his ankles, this child was tied up for quite some time.
Damn.
Russell was the one they found first. There was bruising and blistering because of some of the tactics that were used with the cayenne pepper and the honey to put in the wounds. And then
not the cayenne pepper.
And the honey?
Ooh. Bro, that shit hurt.
Is that like some type of burn?
Bro, yeah, bro, that shit gonna hurt, bro.
Cayenne pepper and honey? What is that about?
It heals, but in the worst way. It's like putting salt in. Yeah, you gonna get disinfected, but that bitch gonna hurt.
Plastered back over with some of the wrap. It was less described about Eve than it was Russell.
Both Russell and his sister Eve are taken to the hospital for malnourishment and injuries. But there's another pressing issue. Where are Ruby's other minor children?
Officers from a number of agencies in Utah County, Springville Police, Utah County Major Crimes Task Force, they went to Ruby Frankie's home in Springville because they wanted to locate the two outstanding children that were under the age of 18. So when officers get to the house, they try to obviously knock on the door, and then they kick the door down. They basically blow right through the door and they clear the house. They realize the children are not there. And And then around noon or so, we start to hear that Ruby Franke called her friend, who is Jodi's longtime friend, Pam Botcher.
There's two.
Not it's a child abuse ring though. Is that what we're looking at? A child abuse ring?
There's something that we're still looking for. Considered still
only here on S.E.T. Media. Make sure you like and subscribe. Covering all the stuff the other YouTube channels will not cover.
The Springville Rec Center around 1:15 today, and that's how we kind of figured that out. How'd you guys go out there?
I'm looking for Pam. Is Pam in today?
Yeah, it's my wife.
Is your wife? She's here. Hi. Hello, Pam. How are you doing?
Good.
Pam Botcher is the third member of Connection's classroom. The two girls were found at Pam Botcher's home. They were unharmed.
Make sure to like and comment as well. We active in the chat. Talk to us.
Right?
Well, you have to physically see her.
Under that doorway.
What's interesting about all of this, when they reached the front door
Ruby Frank.
and they asked to speak with Pam Botcher, both her and her husband are stunned. They don't understand what is going on.
We'll go ahead and get the copy of the warrant for you, okay?
You have a warrant for my house?
Specifically for you.
For you and the child.
Yeah. Okay. So,
what is going on?
They ask Pam to come with them. They do
trouble.
place her into custody in a detainment form by actually putting cuffs on her and putting her in one of the patrol cars. They talk to Pam about what she knows about Ruby, what the two girls were doing there, how she had the two girls initially.
Is Ruby Franke's daughter. She's a friend of ours. I did make her scrub the floor, and they vacuumed and stuff because I have company coming tonight from Costa Rica. So, but she did have her own.
Can you imagine women arresting these women? Bro, they probably put them hands on her just like.
Yeah, if they knew the accusation in the story.
Man.
On free will.
Pam says about 5 to 10 to 20 times in this conversation in the body camera.
I ain't gonna lie, you know she a little bit guilty if she already offering up the fact that, yeah, I mean, I did make him scrub the floor. That's it, though. That's it. I didn't have him locked up in my back shed or anything or in the basement. I didn't threaten them or anything. I didn't beat him with a belt if they, talk back. Just the floor, I promise.
It can't be that.
We ate some ice cream. That's all it is.
So just to make sure I'm understanding all this correctly, Ruby contacted you around noon.
Said she had a family emergency.
And needed you to pick up the girls.
Yeah, she said, would you mind watching the girls while I'm gone? Because she was leaving. I said, yeah, I could do that because I need some help cleaning. I just went to the pool and said, hey, they have a family emergency. Can I pick up? She said, sure. Your mom said you could come help me clean today. She said, okay.
Okay. And what about?
Ruby just told me she'd be at the Ace Hardware.
So in Pam's defense, she was extremely confused because I don't think the officer had all the facts because they were getting this from another agency, and then finally things started coming together. As we sit here and talk today, Pam has not been charged with anything. She's not involved in any of this. However, I am curious to know if they questioned her about any of the things that went on with Ruby and Jodi throughout the entire court proceeding.
So Pam isn't involved.
Is it possible I can talk to you by my car? A little out of so we can just talk?
Yeah, she can go in and lock the door.
Go in and lock the door. Yeah. If this officer goes with you, her, sure.
No.
No?
When police do end up finding the children at Pam's house, it's not just a conversation that they have with Pam. They talk to Pam's husband, who is very standoffish, obstinate in a way.
She can stay right here on the porch so you can see her.
I can see her?
Absolutely.
What are you afraid of, sir?
I don't know what's going on.
So that's what I'm going to brief you on, but I want to say...
I'm telling you, I'm answering your question.
Okay.
Number one, I don't know what's going on. Number two, I don't want Springville to drive up and you guys whisk her away. Number three, her mom isn't here right now. And I feel like I'm kind of trying to protect her from getting into a bad situation.
And it's not just Botcher's husband who seems resistant.
Do you need medical attention at all?
And again, though, if you're abusing children, why would you want them to go inside your crib?
True.
Okay.
Go ahead, walk.
Is there a reason you're so scared right
safe
now?
Environment.
It's us? Okay. My intention is not to scare you.
Yeah, the badge, the berries and cherries.
Or is there something that I can do to make you not feel as scared right now?
Make you shut up.
Go away.
Or would you rather not talk?
The children don't really want to engage with police. They're standoffish.
Girls have been...
Because if they don't do anything today about it, they know it's going to happen after they get back home.
Just sitting on the porch having really said
it's fucked up, but it's real.
Yeah. Older sister was saying that it might be rough.
The children are ultimately taken into state custody. Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt are arrested and charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse each, with respect to Russell and Eve's injuries.
You're talking about serious bodily injury, and you get to the aggravated child abuse portion of it, which is a second-degree felony. That's a 1 to 15-year sentence, which is what these charges ended up being. Sometimes that's related to emotional abuse. Sometimes that's related to severe malnutrition. It can be a combination of them.
The arrest of...
Them kids might not even have the energy to talk for real. And like they can't even be thinking right because they're malnutrition. Like, you don't eat right, you don't think right.
Franke and Hildebrandt sets off a firestorm.
It really gained the interest from people around the world about how this could take place and how these two lives between Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt came together, and just how messy it gets. And I think the rest of the world couldn't believe it, because this is something that happens in a movie, right? This is something that is the worst of the worst.
Ruby Franke's own family reacted to the arrest, and on Instagram, her adult daughter Shari posted the words, "Finally, and today has been a big day." Her official statement reads, "Me and my family are so glad justice is being served. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this, and so glad they finally decided to step up."
Wow. It took them niggas years to do this.
Bro, CPS is slow as shit, bro. I promise you. It's like they need too much sometimes. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. CPS need to be taken seriously, like the FBI. Like, all right, as soon as child abuse, I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to bug the house and let's see what's really going on. You talking kids being hurt. I'll take that so seriously.
And what the craziest part is, this shit was on the internet for everybody to see.
Bruh. Like,
and where there's smoke, there's fire. So somebody should have been did a wellness check on these kids.
Man.
The family dynamic is hard to understand. We see maybe a few social media posts from Shari, none of the other children. So it's hard to tell the exact standing of the relationship. They've got to be exhausted by all of this, and it's got to be frightening for them.
This is only part of the story. When we return, Ruby Franke makes a decision that upends the case, and secrets are revealed about what actually happened to the Franke children.
I think I share the same reaction that a lot of people share. I'm as shocked as anybody as you read these.
Stay with us.
All right, man. Let us know what y'all think. Wild ass story, though. Wild story. All right. Now, of course, you know they got the ads and all that nice stuff. Man, ain't that crazy. All right, let's go.
Hey, so we're going to get back to Prime Crime in just a minute, but what does the Ruby Franke story make very clear? It's that you have to know who you're surrounding yourself with, right? Well, that is why I have to talk to you about this new sponsor of ours, truthfinder.com. Wait to hear about this.
Will you find out if the person you're messing with is a pedophile or not?
Facts.
Will you find out the person you messing with got a criminal case?
That creepy guy you met at the bar, you got to see what his background is.
Oh, God. Hey, yo, make sure you get you some Truth Finder if you moving like that. S.E.T. Media.
Once popular mommy vlogger Ruby Franke and her business associate Jodi Hildebrandt are arrested and charged with aggravated child abuse of 2 of Franke's young children. But one lingering question remains. What about Kevin Franke, Ruby's husband and the children's father?
There's Ruby. There's our camera. Here's Kevin. Here's our other camera. This is where I pick you up, and we're going on our trip. Shari's first European vacation.
He was shocked, devastated, hurt, felt deceived, didn't know any of that was going on.
Wait,
how?
what?
How? How?
Ain't no way. You telling me this happened all under your nose? Where were you when this? So you telling me she was doing all this while you at work, nigga?
Are you serious right now, bro? Are you serious right now?
Bro, you cannot. There's just no way There's no way. There's no way he could not have known about that.
Yeah, I gotta hear this.
Seen his kids for 12 months or more, and didn't know that they were even in Ivan's. Kevin very much loved his children and loved his wife and had a strong bond with all of his kids. But Ruby felt like there were differences in their marriage, and at one point, in conjunction with Jodi Hildebrandt, it was sort of like, we have to separate to save our marriage.
Whoa.
So they removed the protector. She removed the protector, the male in the house, and then what? Everything went to hell.
To save our marriage.
She removed the protector for them kids, man. And, hey, you know that man was around, man. That nigga would have been like, look, you ain't about to do that to my kids. You about to go and check into this hospital right the fuck now.
Keep working on our marriage, but for now, you have to be away. And you have to work on yourself and don't have contact with the kids.
That's the only way she
Ruby Frankie's separation from Kevin.
She kicked him out
and told him to work on himself.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's fucked up, bro. And just so she could turn around and do that to them kids, it's sick.
Frankie is textbook from what we've heard from other people about Jodi Hildebrandt. It is very similar to what other couples have gone through. There were people that came to us and say, Jodi ripped apart my marriage.
Kevin was attending men's groups that were facilitated by Jodi. He was being downgraded and diminished and told how bad he was and that he needed to repent and that the best way to repent.
Guys, I'm not trying to be toxic, but guys, make sure you're the biggest influence
and then
in your girl's life.
religiously condemned him,
bro.
Told him he needed to repent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
It was to not infect his family with his problems, and that's why you need to stay away.
Despite the apparent separation, Ruby allegedly reaches out to Kevin just before she's arrested.
He was working, and she pretty much just said, this is an emergency. I need you to come get the kids. He, of course, tore down there, not knowing any of the details of all this that was going on till he got there.
Following the arrest of Jodi Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie, the case slows down. That is until December 2023, when it's suddenly back in the headlines.
I got a note from Ruby's attorney about a week or so before they were going to notice of the waiver hearing. That is waiving the right to a preliminary hearing. In many cases, it means no trial. You can enter your plea agreement. Ruby Frankie's statement from her attorneys on that Friday before the hearing said, initially, Miss Frankie believed that Jodi Hildebrandt had the insight to offer a path to continual improvement. Miss Hildebrandt took advantage of this quest and twisted it into something heinous. Miss Hildebrandt systematically isolated Miss Frankie from her extended family.
Nah, she gotta take some accountability on this. Like, how the fuck did you let a woman talk you out your marriage, out your family, into like torturing your kids? How did you do that? This is what the marriage system is about, Loki. This is what kills me, that a woman could just do this to her whole family on a whim. On a whim, just because some person told her to do it. Like, how strong is your marriage when somebody outside your marriage can really break it apart?
Right. You live with this man, you sleep in the same bed.
Y'all raised like 6 kids together, and you telling me some woman just came in there and just said, oh yeah, he's this and he's that, and you should break up with him? Like, ain't no fucking way. No.
More importantly, a woman who doesn't even know you or him.
Bro, how dare she even play that victim card?
Ms. Frankie, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
Ooh, thank you.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
Thank you.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty.
I think Ruby's motivation behind pleading guilty was to not put her children through this extended process where she's fighting it and the children potentially have to get up and testify.
Yeah, testify and displaying what they're doing and re-traumatize themselves. And she got to sit there and feel the weight of her, actions.
I think she obviously very clearly wants to reconcile with her children. So I think that there was a notion of her letting her children know that she was taking accountability for it, that she recognized what she did was wrong, and that she's going to be better going forward.
This morning, Ruby Franke pleaded guilty to 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. The state agreed to dismiss the 2 other counts of child abuse, and she agrees, I'll read this one verbatim. She agrees to testify truthfully against Jodi Hildebrandt, and in return, the Washington County Attorney's Office agrees to remain neutral regarding future hearings before the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole.
Yeah, we need that lady.
They needed Ruby to be there to say, look, Jodi was kind of
we need her.
The linchpin in all of this. She knew everything that was going on, and she was advising me. This is what she told me to do. When you're talking about co-defendants in cases like this, it's not uncommon for a prosecutor to try to find one to cooperate against the other.
And Ruby Franke's plea agreement is how the world finds out exactly what happened to her 2 youngest children,
Here
Russell
we go, y'all.
and Eve.
Some of the things that kind of came out with the plea form that weren't in the initial booking statement, when you go through and you look at the injuries associated with Russell, Ruby had boots on and was involved in kicking him while he was on the ground. She admits to holding his head underwater. Obviously incredibly concerning.
The tying up and then the emaciation and the malnourishment. They talk about how the 2 children were forced to do physical tasks for hours, even days at a time, like carrying boxes, full books up and down stairs, working outside in the desert climate. They were denied water. They were doing so without shoes. In the summer heat, they were out in the direct sunlight for several days. They were blistering. But there was also
kids
part
like
of the abuse
slaves.
about the isolation from other.
Bro, treating these kids like they Marines or something. Like you training them for something.
Bruh.
It's like, what's going on?
Other people, they were basically shunned, therefore leading to both of them having severe emotional harm from being treated differently.
Questions remain. What does this mean for Jodi Hildebrandt? And will Ruby Franke serve any time?
Obviously, all of it is indeterminate. In Utah, the judge is limited in what he can do.
How do you know if you are a controlling parent? If you're in a position of power and you turn your power and give it over to the kids, that is control.
Utah, December 2023.
Glad we know.
Once popular YouTuber Ruby Franke has pled guilty to 4 counts of child abuse against 2 of her own children.
We will be talking all about empowering your children through setting boundaries, teaching them responsibility, and helping them to heal from anxiety. Hope to see you there.
Wow.
But with
she's
Franke's
giving out
admission of
parental
guilt
advice.
and willingness to testify against her co-defendant, mental health counselor Jodi Hildebrandt, could Hildebrandt fight her child abuse charges at trial?
There's
we got a lot of y'all watching. Make sure to like and comment, man.
There are different
More
situations where maybe you're acting in a way to defend yourself, or you're defending another one of your children from maybe a violent sibling. When you're talking about serious bodily injuries, it's a question of, I didn't do it intentionally. It was really more recklessly. So at that point, it's more of a defense about level of punishment.
But just like Ruby Franke, Jodi Hildebrandt decides not to put up a fight.
Ms. Hildebrandt, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
They got her
To
ass
count
up
6,
there.
also aggravated child
All
abuse,
these
a
charges.
second-degree felony?
Guilty.
Well, did they not know that they were doing
Ruby
wrong?
pled guilty.
So you tell me they just all did all this and just did not know what they were doing wrong? Like, well, then who raised her?
You gotta wonder.
Like, bro, it's like it was a grooming at this point, a passed down grooming.
And she knew that Ruby was
grooming
going
of
to
child
testify
abuse.
against her. Her case became a lot more difficult because, again, some of the conduct that Jodi is accused of and was charged with is the stuff that Ruby was doing to the kids.
In her plea agreement, Jodi Hildebrandt admits to participating in the child abuse, but she has one more disturbing detail to add.
The other concerning thing about Eve is the fact that she did have to jump into the cactus. According to the plea form that Jodi filled out, she made her jump into the cactus multiple times.
Yo.
A cactus?
Are you
like? Bro, jump into a cactus is wild.
Are you serious right now?
That is the wildest shit I heard.
Yeah.
She's damn. Oh my God, she's evil.
Yeah,
she's
evil. It's like, what else can you call her?
There's no other way around it.
On February 20th.
All that shit would never happen if the dad was there.
You know he wouldn't have still for that shit.
Oh hell no! You ain't about to make my daughter do what?
What?
Wow.
I'll beat your ass and call the police.
Oh God, are you playing with me?
2024,
my kids.
the duo were officially sentenced. Frankie was up first.
She committed horrible acts of child abuse. From May to August in 2023, Ms. Frankie and her business partner held her 2 children, ages 9 and 11, turning 12, in a concentration camp-like setting. Had the older of the children not had the courage to run away and ask a neighbor to call the police, heaven only knows how much longer he could have survived in that situation.
They might live
For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world...
Sounds like a group of women we know.
Oh, God.
Sounds like a group of women we all know.
Oh,
with
God.
It was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need
discipline.
Abused. Kevin, my husband of more than 23 years, you are the love of my life. I'm so sorry to leave to you to finish what we both started together.
God,
to my babies, I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and right was wrong.
Was it the money? Was it the clout? Was it the views?
No, bro. It was the mind control.
The brainwashing of the business associate?
Yeah, it was a lady. She got in there and said, well, you should start treating your kids like this. You start doing this. This is what they deserve. Your husband's a bad guy. Get him up out of there. And now it's a female-led household. See what that got you.
I'm committed to continuing my learning until all of my toxic layers are shed and I am ready to re-enter as a contributing member of our beautiful society.
The sentence will be that Ms. Frankie serve 4 counts, 4 1 to 15-year sentences based on her convictions for 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. They will serve consecutively.
And then it was Jodi Hildebrandt's turn.
I sincerely love these children.
What?
I desire for them to heal physically and emotionally. One of the reasons I did not go to trial, so I did not want them to emotionally relive the experience which would have been detrimental to them. My hope and prayer is that they will heal and move forward to have beautiful lives.
Bruh.
But not everyone was buying what Jodi
gonna fuck their childhood up and be like, well, have a good life after. Like, son of a bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Was selling.
The fact that she was being held accountable was completely, I'm still having a hard time coming to terms with that. This is something that I have been trying to talk about for almost 15 years, and people...
Damn, that's how fucked up she is? Bro, you see that? You see how fucked up she is, bro? This how fucked up they got her. She's now they, them. That's how fucked up she is.
Damn.
She is now they, them. She's obviously a woman, got mentally abused and physically abused, and now she's they, them. God,
look what y'all did to her.
Trying to talk
God
about...
damn it, are you happy? Are you happy?
Like, she's
people that
too.
needed to hear didn't listen. Nothing was done.
Crazy.
It's so obviously a manipulation tactic to save face.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
You don't get accused and convicted of child torture and then suddenly are like, oh, I just really care about these children's healing. Like, that's not what happens.
I almost fell over in the courtroom when I heard Jodi say that she loved those children. Jodi doesn't love children. Jodi's like Ted Bundy.
Damn.
After being caught, Ms. Hildebrandt has shown little to no remorse for her actions. In telephone conversations that will be provided in full to the Board of Pardons and Parole, and which she knew to be recorded, she's repeatedly claimed that she is the victim and the children are the perpetrators. She has gone so far as to say that the things said in this proceeding and covered by the media today will be full of lies.
Ms. Hildebrandt, this circumstance is tragic. It's largely, of course, of your making. By any measure, your conduct in this case was disastrous for these children. Adults are supposed to protect children.
Facts.
Adults with specialized training in particular are supposed to protect children. You didn't do that. In this case, you terrorized children.
Like Ruby Franke, the judge sentenced Jodi Hildebrandt to 4 consecutive sentences.
Given that these are second-degree felonies, the most they'd be looking at on the top end is 30 years. They're not going to do 30 years. There will be a matrix that's run. They don't have a criminal history, so they'll be on the bottom row. For the second-degree felony, it's 18 months. That's kind of the minimum. And then the Board of Pardons and Parole gets the opportunity to decide if they're going to get the chance at parole at that 18-month mark, or if they need more time in prison. And the board will look at several different things. Have they done any...
I ain't gonna lie, they gonna get their ass.
They're gonna get their shit back. I mean...
You're going to a female prison. A lot of bunch of women that have kids. You're going in there for child abuse. Oh, they're gonna rock her shit the 2 months she's in there.
Treatment. What is their overall demeanor been like while they've been in custody? What did the children want to happen here? Ruby and Jodi, by my math, are looking at a minimum of 39.6 months.
This is one of the worst child abuse cases we've seen. I think that a 4-year minimum for Ruby's actions are entirely appropriate. I hope that Jodi serves more time than that, and I hope that she isn't out of prison until everybody is completely confident that she's no longer a risk.
With Hildebrandt and Franke behind bars, the next chapter of this story begins. Kevin Franke has officially filed for divorce from Ruby, and at the time of this recording is actively fighting to regain custody of his young children.
Damn, he has to fight for custody of the kids.
Found out the full truth about how these children
is. And then here's the thing, bro. Hey, man, it would make it difficult for a father to be in their kids' lives.
Like, bro,
because you see how easy it was to remove him, but look how hard it is for him to get back in. It's sick.
Are you fucking serious?
Children had been treated while they were in Ruby's care, and some other things that have been going on behind the scenes. Just thought it was the right time to do this.
Like some trash.
In terms of getting the kids back, there's a process that the court sets up, and in terms of helping them become rehabilitated from the trauma they've been through with Ruby and Jodi.
Sure subscribe.
I think that's the state's objective, is to work them through that, as is Kevin.
S.E.T Media, covering all the most uncomfortable and controversial topics on YouTube.
Crazy as shit.
Unless you've had this level of like narcissistic or psychopathic abuse, I can't explain it to you. And then you have the layers of your children. They don't have the biological mental facilities to understand what's going on. And this is not going away. These children are going to deal with this potentially for the rest of their lives. It doesn't stop. This nearly killed me. Trust your instincts. Build up that muscle of intuition. Because the things that you are feeling are true. So ask the questions.
Yeah, man. If you see something, speak out. As soon as you see it, bro, stop waiting, bro. We've done enough waiting now for everything just to be revealed in 2024 that it's all bullshit. Like the stuff we covered in the music industry. The stuff that's going on here right now. It's like if you hear something, speak out.
Trust yourself. So people like Jodi and Franke
speak out.
Are not held in positions of power.
That's always been the same.
They can be your neighbors. They can be your aunts. They can be your mothers.
Facts.
That is the saga of YouTube momfluencer Ruby Franke and self-described life coach Jodi Hildebrandt. Two women who claim to be authorities on child rearing, only to end up pleading guilty to child abuse. A lot of takeaways from this one. First,
I know what that means.
That was crazy, man. Like, What? You telling me that this fat lady came into this lady's good ass life with her husband and child and children and fucked it all up for her. Got the husband out, got her to start abusing her children, and what? Bro, there should be no sympathy, bro. We need to throw the book, bro. I was hoping for 20 years minimum.
39 months.
But hey, though, if it was men, though.
Oh, yeah, they would have threw the kitchen sink and everything else out.
Oh, yeah, it'd have been a wrap. But because it's women, it's sick, though. It's sick. And I'm not even hating on women. It's just, I just don't like to see people like this just get off just because of gender. Like
privilege in any way.
Yeah, you're like, bro.
Gender, sex.
Bro, religion,
race.
It don't matter. Like, you need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law if you did bullshit.
I just hate that the kids are gonna have to try to outlive the trauma that they sustained during that shit. Just for views, just for, I don't know, for their mom getting brainwashed by some weird ass bitch. That shit's crazy.
She did it for the income. Let's keep it a buck.
That shit's crazy.
And know what the sick thing is, bro?
Kick the dad out.
In this modern world, bro, I promise you, bro, the wilder, the sicker the content, seems like the more people tune in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's literally accounts of I've seen on people, I want to say Facebook, TikTok, where they just abuse this one girl and it's all for views and clout. And people just send donations and sick shit.
Man. What you mean, bro? People make money off embarrassing people on TV, on World Star, on TikTok.
That's what people want to see. It's entertaining, apparently.
A lot of people think it's innocent sometimes until you see the underlining effects.
Right. We laughed at it thinking it was a video. It's not a skit, my nigga. That was really somebody who got knocked out. Really somebody who had to go through that embarrassment. Crazy shit.
Oh, God. No. I just don't like that. This got off so smooth. Sweetheart deal, huh?
I guess so. I mean, no criminal record. You got
it's a bad example.
6 kids, mom, YouTuber going for you. She probably had a good lawyer. She was making good money off YouTube, I'm sure.
It's a bad example because, bro, it don't really show too much harshness on the female side. Hopefully the female in them jails are some real bitches and they gonna beat their ass. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
You hope. You hope, my nigga. But that's a maybe not.
Nah, man. Them bitches in that jail need to beat their ass. Beat their ass. Be a real one. Like, come on now. And look, in guy jail, when a dude mess around with kids, we beat their ass. Period.
That's a maybe not.
Man, I'm hoping female jails, they beat them type of women's ass in there, man. I'm praying on it. Like, please, as soon as they walk in there, let them just catch a smooth, like.
The sentencing is crazy, though. It makes you wonder, damn, what all money can get you off with.
Bruh.
Shit, they say you're not a criminal, you just broke. Depending on what you're doing.
Man, yeah, depending if they hit that RICO on you or not. Then you playing the big boy game.
You know, crime is for broke people, apparently. Doing time is for broke people, apparently.
Man, that's crazy.
She ain't had no good lawyer. She was gonna do some years.
And she was a white suburban mother, but that's so wild. I just cannot get over the fact that she got the father up out of there. Just to turn around and plot with another woman on how they gonna discipline these kids.
Little 3-year sentence, she'll be out. Smooth.
That shit's sickening. Man.
Let us know what y'all thought about that, man.
Man, let's know your thoughts in the chat.
For sure.
That shit blew me. I ain't even gonna lie.
That's the wildest story I heard in a while.
Cause I seen little clips about it, but I ain't think hear about it that deep. I was like, God damn.
The full story is shocking.
Yeah, cause I was wondering, I'm like, where's the dad and all this? Where's this guy and all?
Kick that nigga out.
Gone. Told that nigga he need to work on himself so I can abuse the kids.
What? To save this marriage, I need you gone. What?
You know she was getting that child support.
What?
Ooh, she was getting funding to do this shit from YouTube and a man.
Well, I guess they weren't divorced but separated. He just filed for divorce as she went to jail.
You know he was sending that bread. Come on now.
Oh, yeah, he was sending some money. He got the kids. He got 6 kids with her.
You gotta send that bread over.
I mean, even though she got that YouTube check, but fuck it.
Don't matter. Damn, my nigga ain't see his kids in a long time. Kept them away from me.
The craziest shit, man. The craziest shit.
Man, but all right. Ready to time out, my man?
Man, I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. S.E.T Media covering the shit that nobody else covers. Just the wildest shit, man. Bringing y'all all type of content. Making sure y'all get a well-balanced diet of this shit.
Man.
Letting y'all know what y'all need to know, man.